How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about a few items that is worth unlocking as a PvM or in RuneScape 3. I know there's a lot of people joining the game, a lot of people getting in towards the end game at this point, and I know that there's going to be some of you guys wondering what sort of stuff should you work towards, other than the obvious stuff like your gear and weapons and levels and curses, all that stuff that everybody already knows about. We're going to be talking about items, unlocks that aren't as common for the people that are getting into PvM, but they are things that are definitely worth getting. These things will help you out as a person who is getting into PvM. They will make your life a lot better, a lot easier, and it'll probably help you out in killing certain bosses as well. So let's get into this. Let's talk about it. Let's let you guys know what you should be working towards if you're sort of in a position where you're thinking, right, what extra stuff can I get my character that is going to help me out in the long run? That is what this video is all about. But before we do get started, do leave a like on the video. It will help it get suggested to other people. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and like this sort of video. And also, if you do like to watch Twitch time to time, there is a Twitch link in the description if you would like to follow me live, where we do all sorts of challenges, series recording, staking stuff. It's all absolutely great. So go ahead, follow that link if you're interested, and I will see you on stream. But anyway, let's get started with this. What sort of things should you work towards as someone who is probably just getting into endgame PvM? Alright guys, these aren't going to be in any specific order probably, but I will explain a little bit about what the items do and stuff as well. I'm not just going to say, right, get this, done, see you later guys, bye. I won't leave you wondering why you're actually working towards something, so let's get started. The first item that you guys should definitely get, and it will help, you will take this everywhere with you at some point, and that is going to be the Enhanced Excalibur. You can get this by completing the Merlin's Crystal quest, and then what you'd want to do afterwards is go ahead and complete the Seers Village achievements, and this will upgrade it into the Enhanced Excalibur. So what this will do is it will heal you over time, and this does change depending on what achievements you've done. If you've done the hard version, then it will heal you 4% of your max life points 5 times over 20 seconds, resulting in 20% of your max life. However, I would suggest that you do the Seers Village Elite achievements, as this will double that, so that it heals you 10 times over 40 seconds, and it gives you 40% max life points healed. So it's actually really good to unlock this. It's definitely something that will save you a lot of food over time, which then translates into a lot of money, but also it's useful in some situations, like you can activate it before you onslaught. This will give you an extra hit through that. And to be fair, I use this as my bladed dive switch everywhere I go, as I'm going to be using it anyway, so you might as well bring it as your bladed dive switch because it just makes sense to do so. So this is definitely something you'll want to get at some point, so I suggest you write this down in your list if you don't already have one. Okay, next up we have the Ring of Vigour. This is an item that you will get through dungeoneering. It costs you 50,000 dungeoneering tokens, and in all honesty guys, that's not that hard to get. With the elite dungeons now, you can definitely just go through, kill all the beginning bosses in the dungeon, reset, and go back in and do it again. The way I do this personally in a solo is going through ED3. If you extend your map, you can actually see whether that first boss is there or not as soon as you get into the dungeon, and if it's not there, then just jump back out, jump back in until it is, run down, kill that first boss, and then come straight back out. This will get you 5,000 tokens each time, so if you do it 10 times, then you've got your 50,000 tokens. Nice and easy. Of course, you can do this as well in a duo or a trio, if it will speed it up for you, of course. But at that point, it's probably better going towards ED1 and getting the first whole boss room done, as there is a lot more bosses there, and it does give you more tokens. But as a solo option, you can definitely just do this. Now, the reason you want the Ring of Vigour is every time you use an ultimate ability, which you will use quite a lot in endgame PvM, you're going to use Death Swiftness, Sunshine, Berserk, a couple of other ones as well, but those are the main ones. It will save you 10% adrenaline every time you use one of those abilities. This will mean that you can build up into your Death Swiftness or Sunshine a lot quicker than if you would have done without it. It definitely gets you to your thresholds a lot faster, which means you get more DPS. And not only that, if you guys are learning, this ring's okay to camp. Like, if you don't want to do switching straight away, the stats on this ring are okay. Like, it's not terrible. However, I would recommend you use it as a switch from like a Ring of Death or something. Especially as a learner to PvM, you're going to want to probably be sitting on that Ring of Death as your main ring, assuming your death costs are higher than the actual cost of it, of course. If not, then just camp something like a Ring of Vigour if it makes your life easier. But this ring is definitely something that I would suggest you get, as honestly saving that bit of extra adrenaline may seem like not that much, 10%, but honestly, it is definitely worth using. Everybody uses it, and there's a good reason why. It gets you to your thresholds quicker, it makes you get more out of your Sunshine, out of your Death Swiftness, all that sort of stuff, which overall means you can do more DPS while that ultimate is up. I should probably mention as well that if you use a weapon special attack, which for example a Guthix Staff, you'll actually use 90% of the normal required adrenaline for that. So this is another use you can get from it, but the main reason will be when you use Death Swiftness or Sunshine, for example. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be DPS auras. Now, you don't need to always use DPS auras, but in PvM, they're going to be super useful. There's quite a few options when it comes to DPS auras, and the main ones that you're going to be talking about, and probably a lot of you guys watching who are experienced enough already, are probably thinking Maniacal, Reckless, and Berserk aura. Now, these are not the only ones I'm talking about. One, Dark Magic is a great aura to use as well. This will do pretty damn good DPS. It's actually not too much difference from using something like Maniacal or Reckless from my experience, and also the Magura aura is another great one to unlock too. However, as someone who is getting into PvM, if you don't have any of these auras yet and you are still working on getting some bosses done, then it's definitely worth you guys going through the Solomon store and having a look through the loyalty points, because you can unlock yourself the accuracy auras, which do translate to DPS as you are not missing the bosses as much, which of course means the hits will hit more and you'll do more damage. So it's worth unlocking these to increase your accuracy. They are called Supreme Sharpshooter, Supreme Runic Accuracy, and the Supreme Brawler aura for melee. All these give you 10% extra accuracy, and that is absolutely great. Like 10% accuracy is brilliant. So if you haven't yet unlocked the other auras, the Berserk auras, where you'll be doing more damage but taking a little bit more damage as well, then these are definitely worth getting first, as they're just loyalty points, and then you can use these to work towards unlocking auras from the Wars Retreat shop, which is the ones I mentioned before. Now, the reason you want to use auras is pretty obvious. As I said, it gives a 10% accuracy boost on these ones, or the other ones give a massive damage boost increase as well, so you definitely want to be using them because it makes your life easier, get you through the bosses quicker, which translates into a few things. You can end up getting more drops per hour with a faster kill, but not only that, if you're in the boss fight for less time, you're taking less damage, which means you're using less food, which means you're saving money as well. It all sort of goes in a big circle, but overall, you want to be using auras almost every time you do PvM. To prioritize these, I would say that usually you would use things like Reckless and Maniacal first, and then you would go down the list to your Dark Magic, your Magura, and then probably come down again to things like your other accuracy auras as well. In some situations, it will be better to even use different auras completely that are not going to be your your usual Berserk auras. These will not always be best in slot, so keep in mind that even though I said you would usually go from those and work the way down to the other ones, sometimes it is better to use different auras, so it is worth looking into that. However, if you like, I could make a video talking about the auras, where they're useful, which bosses I would use the auras on, for example, and what I would recommend in certain situations. Let me know in the comments if that's something that would interest you, because if it does, then I can definitely do that for you. Alright, the next things that I would suggest you unlock are the God Books. Now, you get these as a reward from Horror from the Deep, which is a quest, and once you've done that, you will have access to 6 different God Books, which you can buy pages for, fix them, and then you can charge the books with more pages as well afterwards. These are pocket slot items, so they do not need to sit in your inventory. You do wield them, and what they do is they basically give you bonus effects throughout PvM. So, for example, the Saradomin one will do the Saradomin sort of special attack and do damage to your enemy target, a single target. When the Zamorak book triggers, it does an AoE damage on the target that you are attacking, and then anything near that will get hit as well. And the Bandos book, for example, will lower your target's defense, meaning you can hit more accurately and hit harder as well. So there is other ones as well, and they all have their own effects, but these are definitely worth unlocking. The main ones that people use are probably the Saradomin book, the Zamorak book, the Bandos book, and the Armadil one. The Guthix one and the Zaras book probably have their unique uses, but personally, I have not really used these at all. But they're still probably going to be worth you getting, just so you've got them ready in case there is ever any changes to them, for one, but also I'm sure there's situations where they are useful to use. In fact, any experienced people watching at this point, get in the comments and let me know, where would you use the Guthix book and the Zaras book, or if you want, go ahead and let us know where you do use your God books. But anyway, having these effects in PvM will definitely help you out. They are definitely worth using, and I use these more than almost any other pocket slot item in the game. You can upgrade the standard books to illuminated God books, and they give an extra bonus in the style bonuses by 2 each, and also give an extra 2 prayer bonus as well. That's all they do for the illuminated version. The actual damage, the effect and stuff is exactly the same, but it's probably still worth doing this, as the quest isn't too hard to do, and you do get yourself some nice little bonuses. Next up, we are heading to the desert, as we are going to the Dominion Tower. In the Dominion Tower, you can unlock a couple of things that are worth getting, and what I would suggest you do get first of all is probably the Dreadnips. Dreadnips are an item that you will basically summon a little scorpion that can help you out with fighting in certain situations, and this will basically apply poison. It can also stun bosses, is super useful to add for DPS, but to get this, you're going to need to achieve 450 kills in the Dominion Tower and spectate another player's match. Now, once you've done that, you can unlock these and you get 500, and then after that you can unlock another 500 every 25 kills that you do in the Dominion Tower. That doesn't take too long to do for the 25 kills, and the upkeep of these isn't too annoying to get, but I'd probably suggest that once you've got them, just keep going a little bit, get a couple of thousand of them, and then you'll probably not have to come back here in quite a while. A few situations you would use these in is a lot of people use them at Telos, as they can stun Telos, meaning that you can get through phases a bit easier, and you can also delay the special attack on phase 5. However, I've personally dropped those from there and I don't use them anymore, but I do use them almost anywhere that the boss can be poisoned, as the extra poison from the Dreadnip does stack with other stuff as well, meaning that you can actually get quite a bit of damage out of using Dreadnips. Now, they are absolutely easy to use. You just click on them, it will send out one of the scorpions, and then that is it. It will attack the boss that is nearby. Whatever target you are on when you click on it, it will just keep attacking that until its time runs out or until you get too far away from the Dreadnip. They are super useful at places like ED1 where you want to defeat the crystals on Seryu's back, but overall, Dreadnips, in all honesty, you can use absolutely anywhere that they can reach the boss, as they do around about 8,000 damage per minute, which is a decent amount of damage increase considering you are doing nothing except clicking once and getting free damage over time out of it. Next up from the Dominion Tower is Dominion Mines. Now, these take a hell of a lot of requirements to unlock. There is a lot of quests, as you do have to complete all of the special challenges in the Dominion Tower, which means having specific bosses unlocked from each quest. You do also need to have 400 kills, but if you already have Dreadnips, then you're already past this point. But if not, if you're coming just from Dominion Mines, then you do need 400 boss kills as well. But keep in mind that if you're at 400 kills, you may as well then carry on and get your Dreadnips too, seeing as it's only another 50 kills. However, like I said, there is a lot of quest requirements for this, but what you can do is if you search Dominion Mines on the RuneScape wiki, there is actually a calculator that you can enter your character's name, you can press show quests, and it will tell you what you've done, what you need to do still, and you can work down the list and get through those. It does take a little while to do, but Dominion Mines are absolutely worth getting. If you plan on doing things like ED1 or Solak or next Angel of Death, then you're definitely going to want to have these at some point, as I'm pretty sure at some places like AOD, that they are absolutely required. They may be like a requirement to get into some teams and stuff, but they're also just super useful at places like Solak and ED1 as well. What they do is they will be placed on the ground and you can place up to 2 at a time, and when they do trigger, they actually trigger for a 10,000 damage each, which is a hell of a lot of damage considering you have done nothing except click on your mines and drop them on the floor. This will help you out in places like ED1, as you can place it near the crystals as you jump on Seryu's back, and it will help you DPS those down, allowing you to probably get 2 cycles or 1 cycles rather than having to jump up 3 or 4 times onto Seryu's back, which can actually change the kill from like a 15-minute kill down to like 4 or 5 minutes, or if you one cycle down to even something a hell of a lot shorter than that. At places like Solak, you can place them down and you can break the roots that are around the arena. You can get rid of one of those completely, or you can do a quick bit of damage to it depending on how big your group is. But basically, these will just help you out in doing DPS in certain situations where having that little bit of extra damage is just convenient, helps you out a hell of a lot, and saves you quite a lot of time. If you plan on doing bosses, like I said before, AOD, ED1, or Solak, definitely suggest getting these and adding them to your presets for those, as it will help out a hell of a lot. Okay, there's one more thing that I'm going to talk about in this, and this is probably going to be just for people who are using magic. To be honest, this is just going to be for mages, but it's definitely worth getting, and that is the Guthix Staff. Now, the Guthix Staff is super useful. It's a spec weapon for magic that requires only level 60 magic to use, but you also need to complete the Mage Arena minigame. Once you've done that, it will cost you 80,000 gold to buy, which really isn't that much. But the main reason you want this is for the special attack Claws of Guthix. It costs 25% adrenaline and deals 140% to 300% ability damage. This is a stupidly high hitting ability, considering the fact that you're literally just using a level 60 weapon. What this will do is it will lower the target's defense level by 5% of that target's base defense level. Not only that, it will apply a debuff that will increase the target's affinity values by 2. Basically, what this does is increase the base hit chance that you have against whatever target you use this on. So as you can imagine, this basically makes this super useful to use in situations that you can take it, because it will mean that you can hit the boss a lot easier, you can hit the boss harder, and this weapon is worth spamming if you have the adrenaline to use. If you can put this in an essence of finality at some point, you can just spam this whenever you want to use, and honestly, the Guthix Staff kind of just becomes an extra threshold ability while you are using magic. However, it is also useful in other situations in group bossing, because you can apply the debuff and everybody gets the effect from that. So this is something that is definitely worth unlocking. It can do a lot of damage, it can make you do more damage, make you hit a lot more accurately. It helps out in a lot of situations. It is used a hell of a lot. I use it in every single situation that I use magic in, because without it, I kind of just feel like I have too much adrenaline and I'm missing out on quite a bit of DPS that I could definitely have if I brought it along. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today. That is going to be the stuff that I wanted to talk about that you guys should work towards as someone getting into PvM, towards endgame PvM. Items that will help you out if you do get them unlocked. They will definitely be used in a lot of situations. All of these items are things I use almost every single day. In fact, assuming I use magic at least once through the day, I actually probably use all of these items each and every single day. But anyway, I hope the video helped you out. I hope it has given you something to work towards if you were wondering what you should work on next. If you have any questions, get in the comments, ask as many questions as you like. I absolutely do not mind answering as many as I can. It is, however, getting quite hard to keep up with the comments, so if you notice that I'm not replying to all of them, I'm doing my best, and I probably will get back to them at some point if I do find the time. If you did enjoy the video, if it did help you out, then do leave a like on it. Do subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed and you are interested in this sort of video. Also, any video suggestions that you would like to see, get in the comments, let me know. I would happily take into account any suggestions that you guys want. If I need to do the research and look into something for you to help you understand it, I will definitely do that as well. Thank you all so much to my current channel members. You guys are insane with the extra support that you provide. I genuinely really appreciate it. If anyone else is interested in joining the channel members, there is a join button by the subscribe button if you're interested in seeing what perks they do get. And then last couple of things, I do have a clan in game. If anyone is interested in joining, you can be a new player, an experienced player, a free-to-play player even, or a members player. You are all welcome. Just guest in the clan called the Inits. Ask anyone in there for an invite and someone will surely get you invited into the clan. There is also a Twitch link in the description if you would like to follow me live, where I actually do make quite a lot of my videos on stream. I will do all the recording there, edit it all afterwards, and then you guys get to see it on YouTube. But anyway, that's it from me, guys. I really appreciate you all watching, so thank you all very much, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.